And this, thank you for checking out the live on this evening. This live is going to be, I'm going to be talking about Colorado defeating Cincinnati 34-23. And it was actually a pretty good game when it's all said and done. Kudos to Cincinnati not giving up. They were down 30, 31 to 14 at one point, and they did fight back. Just came up a little bit short, but so I just want to give them, a shout. Even though they did lose, they didn't give up. They kept fighting. They kept playing, and that was one of the things that their coach mentioned too. That they didn't give up. They kept on fighting, and you got to be, as a coach, even though you took a L, you got to at least be um, feel good about your team, not giving up, not throwing in the towel. Um, but how about those Colorado Buffs, man? And I really, really want to give a shout out to the defense. Rob Livingston, the new defensive coordinator that Coach Prime picked up for this year. He did I tell you, he's doing a great job along with the staff, the office, the defensive line coach, and the analyst coach, and all of the defensive staff. I just want to give kudos to the defense. Um, Definitely, the defense has improved tremendously from last year to this year. They are they actually showed signs earlier in the year, even with the loss to Nebraska. In that loss to Nebraska, they actually shut out Nebraska. Nebraska didn't score a single point in the second half. They did all their scoring in the first half. 28 points they scored in the first half, and then they did not score whatsoever in the second half. So thanks for coming on. Make sure you hit that like um, and hit that comment. Put your comments down below. I'm talking about the Colorado versus Cincinnati game that was last night at 10:15. I'm referencing, sharing my analysis, sharing some stats, both teams. But kudos to the Colorado Buffs. They are now bowl eligible. Congratulations to Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, who are now bowl eligible. So congrats to them. But I like what Coach Prime said. He said that they are not finished yet, that they are not satisfied. They want to keep on winning. They want to be at the best bowl that this team can be. The other thing, too, is that Colorado Buffaloes, they are ranked number 23 as of right now. They are ranked number 23. They are in the top 25. So that's another kudos to the program, to the staff, the offensive coaches, the defensive coaches, the the equipment folks, the medical folks, everybody that's a part of the Colorado Buffs program. Congratulations to each and every one of you. For those people that's in the background, and the managers and everybody, you ought to feel so proud that the program has gotten to this point, and Coach Prime's second year. This is just his second year, and he's taken a team a couple of years ago that won one game. They won only one game a couple of years ago. And here they are right now. They are 6-2, four, 4-1 in the conference, or five. No, it might be 5-1 in the conference. I think 5-1 in the conference. So I'm gonna tell you, they are looking good. Again, I want to give kudos to the defense because they are really playing some good football. The offense, of course, is doing their thing with Sanders um, at quarterback. He's doing his thing. Colorado's passing. The guys that they have on receiving end are doing their thing, and the running is doing great. Um, and I told you, when they are able to run the ball, when they are able to run the ball decently, I'm gonna get ready to share some stats. But when they're ready to run the ball, when they are able to run the ball decently, they have been winning games. They have been winning games. The two losses that they have had, they did not run the ball well. The running game was horrible. It was horrendous. But the games that they were able to mix it up, run the ball, pass the ball, shake things up so that the defense is not so easy for the defense. When they're able to do that, they have won games. They have won games. Let's see who's popped in here. Pepsi. Uh, okay, Renz. How you doing, Renz? How you doing, Pepsi? I look like Mike Tyson. I never had anybody tell me that. I've never had anybody tell me that. Um, but listen, folks. Thank you for coming in. Make sure you hit the like. Thank you for coming in, checking me out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when I'm doing other lives and posting other things. Um, and definitely put in the comments your thoughts on the Colorado Cincinnati football game that was last night. Another late one at 10:15. Go ahead and put your comments on your thoughts on that game. As you can see in the title, I hope that you can see in the title that I'm giving a shout out to Rob Livingston and the defensive, um, the defense, and all of the staff. Um, they're doing a great job, and the guys, I can tell they are gelling. They are playing, flying around the ball. They're doing a great job. Was it a perfect game for the Buffs? No, it was not a perfect game. These guys can continue. They continue to getting better and better. Just like Coach Proud said, they still, there's still some things to work on, but they got the dub. They are 6-2 overall, and I believe they're 5-1 in the conference, and they're eligible now for a bowl game. And I think that's great. Congratulations to Coach Prime. Once again, congratulations to Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes for getting it done. And when I tell you the defense got the job done, the defense got the job done. And then the offense followed suit. But the defense is doing their thing. You have to be able to stop teams. Teams gonna score, teams gonna score touchdowns here and there. But in key moments of the game, the defense got to be able to make plays. The defense got to be able to get that team off the field so the offense can get on the field and chew up time and get TDs to win the game. Colorado won on time of possession in this game. They won on time of possession, and I believe that was a key moment in the game. Another key moment of the game in the game is when Cincinnati was driving the ball and they went for it on 4th and 1, and the defense stopped them. That was a huge stop for the defense. That was a huge stop for the defense. And so I'm telling you, man, this defense, I tell you, I love watching these guys play, man. I tell you, these guys, man, they play with vigor. They play with intense. They're intense. They fly around the ball. I mean, man, I love this defense. And of course, I love the offense. I mean, how can you not love Shador Sanders and the 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 Jimmy Horn Juniors, the Travis Hunter, the Will Shepherds, the LaJohntay Westers, and the Darren Miller, and all of the receiving core? How can you not? How can you not like August Dave and Hayden and Welch and the running backs that they have? These guys, man, they're doing it, but they are not done yet. And that's what I love about Coach Prime is that look, we're appreciative, we are bowl eligible, but we're not done yet. We are not done yet. And so let's talk about a few of the stats that I have. Yeah, Matt, see, I never had anybody tell me that I look like Mike Tyson though. That's a good one. That's a good one. Appreciate it. That's a good one. All right. So let's share some stats. These are team stats. All right. So Cincinnati total offense was 351. Colorado total offense is 446. The passing yards, Cincinnati had 180 passing yards. Colorado, they had 323 passing yards. Rushing, Cincinnati won in this department. They had 171 yards rushing, while Colorado had 123. But when Colorado breaks 100 yards rushing, generally they have won every single game this year so thus far. So they had 123 yards rushing. First down, Cincinnati had 22, while Colorado had 25 first downs. Um, Neither quarterback threw a pick or had an interception. Time of possession. This is what I was talking about. Time of possession. Cincinnati, 27 minutes, 18. Colorado, 32, 42. So they were able to chew up the time. They were able to have the ball more often than Cincinnati. So that gave Colorado more opportunities to score the ball, to get in the end zone, to kick a field goal or whatever. But they had more opportunities than Cincinnati. Both teams had 3 punts each, and that was it. Um, really was actually ended up being a pretty good game, even though Cincinnati was quite behind. They was behind quite a bit. At one point, it was like 31-14, and they came back and scored a few times or so. Um, and Colorado scored one last field goal that made it 34. But my predicted score was Colorado 34 and Cincinnati 24. And I was almost exactly right. Cincinnati, if they would have went for the extra point, they would have had 24. But they opted to try to go for the 2 points, and they missed it. It didn't work. So they ended up having 23. All right. So let's give some kudos to some individual people. So Shador Sanders, he threw 25. He was 25 for 30 for 323, 2 TDs. Rushing, August Dave, He had 22 carries for 91 yards. August Day did his thing. 22 carries for 91 yards. He almost broke 100 yards. Receiving, Travis Hunter had 9 receptions for 153 yards. And I tell you, man, that Travis Hunter is something else. Okay, now I wanna talk about the defense. I want to give love to all of the players. They got tackles or sack or something like that. But Silmon-Craig, he had the most tackles. He had 6 tackles and 1 sack. He was the only one that had a sack, I believe. But he was doing his thing. They always doing their thing. Uh, Sanders had 5 tackles. Bentley had 4 tackles. Hill Green had 3 tackles. McKinney had 3 tackles. Walker, 3 tackles. Unculola, 2 tackles. Hood, 2 tackles. Wanakwo, 2 tackles. Wade, 1 tackle. McNeil, 1 tackle. Hodge, 1 tackle. McCoy, 1 tackle. Stoudemire, 1 tackle. Hunter, 1 tackle. Gant, 1 tackle. Coates, 1 tackle. Finesseth, 1 tackle. Green, the second, 1 tackle. Kudos for the defense, man. I just wanted to give kudos to the defense again. Because, man, they are doing their thing. And like I said, you got to have defense. You got to have defense. You got to be able to stop other teams at crucial times of the game. You got to be able to stop on, if they go for it on 4th and 1, you got to be able to stop them on 4th and 1. And these guys did that. That's the reason why I keep harping on the defense, because you got to have defense. If you want to win championships, if you want to win big games, you got to have the defense make plays. You got to have the defense to make plays. You got to be able to stop people from scoring. You got to be able to stop people from getting first downs. You got to be able to disrupt the offense on your opponent's end. And these guys are doing that. These guys are doing it. And that's the reason why they are in the position that they are. I'm not nullifying the offense. Hey, hey man, the offense is phenomenal. You got guys like LeJohntay, like I said. You got guys like Jimmy Horn Jr. You got guys like Travis Hunter and Will Shepard and Darren Miller. Man, you got those guys receiving the ball. And one of the things that makes these guys dangerous is that not only do they catch the ball, but they make something happen after they catch the ball. So many times in this game, they're able to get extra yards after the catch. So it's not just them catching and falling down or whatever, or they just immediately get tackled. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they immediately get tackled. But a lot of the times, man, these guys, especially Jimmy Horn and LeJohntay, those guys they may be kind of small, but they're very quick and fast. And if they can get out in space, it puts a lot of pressure on the opponent's defense. And they are very elusive out in space. They're very fast. They have quickness, and it's not the easiest um, matchup for other teams. And so the offense off the chain as far as the receiving core, um, the Russian, the Russian is coming up. The Russian is coming up. August Dave had 20. Was how many he have? He had 22 carries, as I shared before. He had 22 carries for 94 yards. He almost had 100 yards rushing by himself. So I mean, and they kept feeding him. They kept feeding him because he was making it happen. And so I'm telling you, man, that the rushing, that's gonna be very key for Colorado. That's gonna be very key for Colorado. That they need to just continue to be consistent with making sure they can run the ball. Keep running that ball. Keep giving it to August Dave. Keep giving it to Hayden. Keep giving it to. Now I'm not sure. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Welch. I haven't seen Michael Welch lately. I'm not really sure. Maybe he's hurt or whatever. I had to check on that. Um, but because some games past, man, he was chewing up yards. He was doing his thing. So I haven't seen him lately. Maybe he's hurt, but because I'm sure if he wasn't hurt, he would be getting some carries. He would be getting some touches because he's been doing a great job as a freshman. He's been, the past games, he's done really well um, for a freshman and everything. And so I'm telling you, man, this Colorado team, they have um, they have a bye week this week, which I think is fitting for them because they can get people that's kind of banged up. Because I know even Shador got kind of banged up a little bit in this game, and so he have time to heal up a little bit. Other guys that get dinged up, they have time to refresh, to recoup, and heal up. Before they play Texas Tech. Now it's going to be another tough one. Texas Tech, matter of fact, Texas Tech and Cincinnati played each other, and Texas Tech just barely beat Cincinnati in that game. So we can beat Texas Tech. We can beat Texas Tech. I will be doing a pregame, you know, my analysis, my thoughts on that a little bit later date, um, because they do have a bye week. So Colorado won't be playing anybody this Saturday, so they do get a break and everything. I actually thought they only had one bye week, but they haven't. This is the second bye week. But anyway, so they have Texas Tech the next game. I think they have Utah. I believe they have Kansas. Who else? Who else? Who else? Um, they played Cincinnati, so they played Cincinnati. Then they have Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and I'm missing somebody. I'm missing somebody. Who Colorado? Who they're not playing this time? They're not playing as far as the regular schedule. As far as the regular schedule, they're not playing Iowa State, and they're not playing BYU, and I think Iowa State caught a caught a L, if I'm not mistaken. So we need BYU to lose to somebody. I was hoping that UCF was gonna beat them. That didn't happen. Um, they got the dub, so they're still undefeated in the conference. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they are the only one that's undefeated in the conference. So they need to get lose to somebody. Um, Kansas State need to lose again. Iowa State need to lose again. And then if that happens and Colorado can keep winning, because they got to keep the ball rolling. They got to keep. They're not satisfied. Yes, they're bowl eligible, great, but still got a lot of football left to play. Still got about 5 more games, somewhere around in there, uh, or 4 more games or something like that left to play. So hey, just like Coach Brown said, man, they're not done. They're not done. They're not satisfied. They're appreciative. They're appreciative, but they're not satisfied. And I don't blame them, man. They want to get to the best bowl that they can be on. You know. That's what they want, and that's what they ought to be. They ought to have those expectations. They ought to have that goal. If you got too many more games to play to just say, oh well, we qualified, we can just whatever. No, 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 no. They're not gonna do that. They're not doing that. So, but yes. So again, man, Colorado's defense is doing it. They are a lot better. They are a lot better than they were last year. Another kudos, another um, part of the team I want to give kudos to the offensive line. The offensive line they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing. I don't think there was one sack for Shador. It was a few close ones, but he did not get sacked in that whole game that I saw. So the offensive line, I believe they said, you know what? We're tired of people saying, offensive line is not this or whatever, you know, kind of earlier. That now they didn't have the best game, I believe, against Kansas State, if I'm not mistaken, as far as Shador getting sacked, but offensive line, they're doing their thing because they are protecting Shador. He had time to throw the ball. I mean, he got rushed here and there a little bit. But other than that, man, he had time. He looked comfortable. You know, he wasn't hurried. Yeah, he might have got hit after he got the ball out of his hands, but it just looked a whole lot better. You know, nothing against the line last year, but it's like a 180 this year. It's like a 180 this year. Even though they've had some moments this year that wasn't the best, but I believe these guys they get on one another. They play with pride. They play with the attitude that hey man, we're gonna beat our guys off the block. We're gonna protect Shador. We ain't giving up no sides. I believe they go into the game with that type of attitude, and you have to go in that game with that type of attitude. You got to do that. You got to have a edge about you, a meanness, or hey, look, we're gonna protect Shador. We ain't gonna be giving up sacks here and there, all over the place. We're gonna protect him. They did a great job protecting Shador Sanders. They really did. Now he got a little dinged up when he ran. He went for he faked the handoff and took it. Um, he got a little dinged up on there. Outside of that, you know, it just looks a lot better as far as the offensive line. So kudos to the offensive line. Kudos to the offensive line doing a much better job, and just keep it going. Just keep it going. And so what this is doing is, we already know that Colorado can pass the ball. We already know that they got formidable receivers. I mentioned their names. But they got formidable, formidable, formidable receiver receivers. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting that word out, but you know what I mean. They have guys that are good, that catch the ball, run after the catch, get yards after the catch, make it hard for the opponent's defense. The other thing is that they're able to run the ball. And I'm telling you, when these guys are able to run the ball decently, they don't have to be stellar necessarily. But when they can run over 100 yards in the game, they've been able to come away with the win. I mean, every game they've been able to come away with the win. So when they're able to run decently, we already know that they can pass. Defense is much better. Offensive line is much better. Hey, the sky's the limits for the rest of for these guys for the rest of the games. They are capable. They are capable of winning out. They are capable of winning out. They just got to take it a game at a time. Take it a game at a time. Game at a time. Don't talk about the Big 12 championship. None of that stuff. Take it a game at a time. You got to worry about who you got next. Cincinnati is done, is over with. On to the Nets. The Nets is Texas Tech. That's who we dealing with next. So we got to get ready for Texas Tech. Not this week, not this week, but the next week. The next week. And I'm pretty sure Coach Prime, he'll probably let them off for a few days this week. They deserve it. They take a little breather, heal up a little bit for those that got dinged up, because some guys got dinged up. And again, and if Michael Welch is hurt, like I said, I might be missing something. I haven't seen him out there lately, so that's what I'm assuming. I hope it's nothing else, but I'm assuming that he's hurt because he has been doing he did a wonderful job some games prior when he was able to get the ball. He was one of the main running backs that we was getting the ball to, giving the ball to, and he was getting good yards. He was getting, averaging at least about 4 or 5 yards a carry or somewhere around in there. And I haven't seen him for last few games or so, you know. So I hope he's okay, whatever, hope he's okay. But maybe I had to do some research on that. But this Colorado team, man, I'm loving this Colorado team, man. I'm loving this Colorado team. And I'm gonna tell you, man. So they have a chance. They have a chance. And I said this before. They have a chance to make some noise in the Big 12. They got a chance to make some noise in the Big 12. For the remainder, for the teams that they have remaining, they have a chance. They really do. They really do. They have an awesome chance. Hope everybody's doing good. Keep the lights up. Keep the lights up. Keep the lights up. All right. All right. So I just wanted to just say that let's give some love to the. I got a few stats for the offensive receiving receiving core. So Jimmy Horn Jr. He had receptions. He had 5 receptions for 78 yards. Wester had 5 receptions for 56 yards. Miller had 2 receptions for 27 yards. Shepard had 1 reception for 6 yards. And Augustave had 1 reception for 2 yards. Hayden had 2 receptions for 1 yard. Um, in the the rushing, as I mentioned before, Augustave led the core, the running back room. He had 22 carries for 91 yards. And Hayden had 10 carries for 36 yards. And Sanders had 5 carries for 1 yard. So, um, again, what can I say about the offense? The offense, you know, they're one of the most potent offenses in the nation. They are one of the most potent offenses in the nation as far as passing. They have some of some of the most electric guys that Shador can throw the ball to. And not only do they catch the ball, but they can make something happen after the catch. And that's a big thing. that's a big thing. Is not only can you catch it, but what can you do after you catch it? And that's what I love about these guys because they all can make something happen after they catch the ball. And so um, the receiving core on this team, phenomenal. The rushing core, man, they're doing their thing. If they and like I said, if they continue to stay consistent with their running and they're able to run the ball, watch out for Colorado in this conference. Watch out for Colorado in general. I'm telling you, man. But man, um, I'm about to get ready to end. I appreciate coming on, checking me out, and everything. This first time, um, consider subscribing, hitting that bell notification so you can know when I'm putting up new, information on Colorado football. I'm gonna be doing other sports. Doing some basketball too. Basketball season is around the corner, so I will be sharing basketball as well. But man, I just want to say kudos to this defense, man. This defense is they're doing their thing, and the thing about it is that I've noticed earlier in the season that this defense was going to get better and better and better, and they have improved. The offense. I mean, I tell you, I'm really loving this team. I'm really loving this team. But I just want to say congratulations to the Colorado Buffaloes for qualifying and becoming bowl eligible, getting that sixth win. Last year, I believe they ended up being 4-8. And I know that doesn't sound like the best record. Last year there was a lot of games. There was at least about two or three games where they could have won, probably should have won. But I don't think they quite had the defense to stop the other team in crucial moments. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the defense was trash. I'm not saying that. But this defense, they're more consistent. They're becoming more consistent and what they do, and then they're able to in key moments of the game, and this is not the only game that they've done this, where teams go for fourth and one or fourth and two or whatever, and they get that stop. They get that stop. There was a there this game this past few games they had four takeaways in that game, two interceptions and two fumbles that they created and recovered and was able to score off of those. I believe it was against UCF when he scored 41 points or whatever. So you gotta have you gotta be able to stop teams. You gotta be able to get to the quarterback. That's they didn't get to the quarterback as much this time, but they did still disrupt when it was when in key moments of this game they were able to disrupt Cincinnati, and they had to either punt or settle for a field goal, or they just didn't get nothing. you know. So this Colorado defense is doing their thing. They just need to keep it going, keep the ball rolling, keep the train moving, take it one game at a time. They have Texas Tech next. They have a bye week this week. They're not playing. I think Texas Tech got it. Well, I'm not sure if they have a bye week. Cincinnati has a bye week. But anyway, so Colorado have a chance to, heal up. For those guys that got dinged up a little bit, heal up, get some rest, recoup, and get ready for Texas Tech on the next week. So, but I just want to share my thoughts on their win. Congratulations to Colorado. I know that they're thankful. I know that they uh, the fans are happy for them, but they are not done yet. I believe that they are not done yet. They are not done yet. So thank you for watching. Continue to keep checking me out. Get the lights up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. You just happen to see. Well, you probably subscribed already if you saw me. But anyway, appreciate you, the lights. Comment what you think about the game. Um, your take on the game, and you know, so Colorado sits in two right now. How many more games do you think they're gonna win? Put it in the comments. How many games you think they're gonna win to for this season? They're already eligible for a bowl. How many games you think they're gonna win? And then we go from there. But anyway, appreciate everybody. Thanks for coming on. Have a great one, and blessings to you everybody. Blessings.